Welcome back. The race for L.A. mayor is heating up ahead of the city's primary election, which happens on June 2nd. One poll from UCLA shows former reality TV star Spencer Pratt gaining ground on incumbent mayor Karen Bass, while 40% of the voters right now are still undecided. One poll from Loyola Marymount University finds nearly 50% of L.A. voters want a socialist in charge, instead of other candidates such as moderate or business-oriented Democrats. Joining me now, the man running to unseat incumbent Karen Bass, Spencer Pratt, is with us. Spencer, great to see you. Thank you so much for being here, and congratulations on this race.
Yeah, good morning. To be clear, that LMU poll was totally fake, and they actually only questioned socialists. So nobody in Los Angeles wants a socialist mayor.
Well, wow, what a relief. That's good to know, because we were all here thinking that they're pretty nuts if that's, in fact, what they're going for. So how does one move from being a reality TV star formerly to now a candidate for the mayor's office? How do you change perception about your brand and give us your platform?
Well, for the last 14 months, anybody that's been following the Palisades fire knows that I'm the one that's uncovered the criminal negligence by our mayor, Karen Bass. And once you've experienced total loss with your own family, with your parents, 12 of your neighbors burn alive, 7,000 of your neighbors' houses burn down, it changes your entire life. So I didn't have a choice to run for mayor. We cannot have 4 more years of this person, Karen Bass, and we definitely cannot risk Los Angeles having 4 years of a Democratic socialist mayor.
Sometimes I feel like L.A. is on an island of its own and just out of, reality on so many of these issues. But what you just said in terms of people really don't want a socialist suggests maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there are level-headed people in Los Angeles that actually understand policies matter. Is that what you were suggesting?
I'm speaking to thousands of people a day reaching out to me, mothers who want to feel safe on the sidewalk with their kids and their strollers, mothers that want to go to the park that don't want to inhale fentanyl smoke from the 70,000 drug addicts that the mayor currently lets live on our streets. There are small business owners all day long that message me that want to be able to stay open and not have drug addicts going number 1 or number 2 in front of their restaurants. Over 100 restaurants just in LA have closed in the last year. Everyone is done. So at the end of the day, people want the law enforced. We have plenty of laws that make all of these things illegal that our current mayor and the potential Democratic socialist option would continue for 4 more years. And Angelenos are done. This is not compassionate. We have 6 people dying every day in the streets. Just this week on my own social media, I was tagged in 2 different deaths. In the morning, the person was alive and they were on the side of the street. People would tag me. By the end of the day, that person was dead and they were tagging me in a body bag. This is a red alert, and most of Los Angeles is 100% done. And those 40% undecided voters, those are my voters. They just don't know there's somebody that has a message that says 100% this ends when I'm mayor. I will enforce the law that exists in Los Angeles. We don't need new laws. We have the laws. We're choosing to let the homeless industrial complex launder billions of dollars in fraud and waste, and us taxpayers that know about this, we are done with it.
Wow, what a relief. I'm with Liz Peek this morning. Go ahead, Liz, jump in.
Good morning. I would think Angelenos are somewhat inspired by what's happened in San Francisco, where you actually had a city absolutely going downhill in all kinds of trouble on the same kinds of issues you're talking about, drug abuse, crime, etc. And guess what? They started to change, in their case, and enforce the law, and now San Francisco seems to be coming back. I mean, that's pretty inspiring, and I would hope that Angelenos are looking at that and saying, yeah, we can make a difference here by voting in someone with common sense.
Everywhere I go, no matter who you are, all they do is they shake my hand and they say, thank you for having common sense. That's all I'm running on. We just need to get back to common sense. Mayor Uri, he's he's done a great job. I'm going to go to the next level beyond what he's done, because there's a lot of people in San Francisco who still think he hasn't done enough, and I'm going 100% on enforce the law. We are not going to allow any drug addicts on the street. We're going to have mandatory treatment. We're going to help these people. It's not compassion to let people die on the street. We're going to get them the treatment they need, not a $1 million bed that they don't want to sleep on because they're on fentanyl. You cannot just give people $1 million laundered beds. When I say launder, I say money laundering, because no bed should be costing $1 million. But these beds are empty because these people are on fentanyl.
Yeah.
They need to get off the drugs, and then we can work on the housing.
Well, that's incredible. I mean, you were a former reality TV star starring a role on MTV's The Hills, and you're adding to a long line of actors turned politicians: Ronald Reagan, Arnold Schwarzenegger, President Trump. They attacked President Trump for a decade, and now he's there in the White House, second term, actually affecting real change. How does that background help you in this political role?
You know, the only background that matters for me is I'm a father of a 3-year-old son and an 8-year-old son, and I want them to grow up in Los Angeles, the Los Angeles I got to grow up, the beautiful LA. I'm not fighting for anybody but Angelenos and my family to be able to get the Los Angeles that we all know can come back and thrive. And we need to do it fast because the Olympics is coming, and right now, nobody on planet Earth wants to go to any event on the streets of LA stepping on fentanyl needles, human poop, everything smells like pee. It is disgusting. We need to get in here. We need to enforce the law and get these streets beautiful like they should be and they can be for the Olympics.
Well, this is just incredible. I mean, one of your focuses has been restoring the Pacific Palisades after the devastating and deadly wildfires last year. You were one of the victims, as you just told us, and your home is still not rebuilt. What is Karen Bass doing?
Well, technically, we're in a beautiful studio van parked in front of my dirt lot where all of my memories of my family were right there. And so thankfully, every time I come here, I get more inspired to make change in Los Angeles, because this is not a game for me. These other people, respectfully, they're politicians. I am not a politician. I'm an angry taxpayer that wants LA to get fixed. In the future, when there is another emergency that is bound to happen, we need to have the general fund have money for emergencies. When all of our houses burned down, Karen Bass had $0 in the emergency fund because she doesn't know how to manage the city budget. It's insane.
You know,
so Karen Bass has done nothing, period. Nothing. Absolutely zero.
Spencer, I mean, we had Dan Yergin on, energy expert, the other day. And Liz, I want to get your take on this, because what Dan Yergin said was that if you look at the whole country and where the biggest impact is from the spike in oil prices that we're talking about, it's California. Why? Because of all of those policies that they've had for so long. They're getting so much of their oil and gas from the Middle East, from the Strait of Hormuz.
Yeah, I mean, Gavin Newsom was complaining about gas prices the other day, and I literally laughed out loud when I saw it, because so much of the gas price increase, and always 50% higher than gas price in California versus the national average, comes from taxes. I think it's 90 cents a gallon is the state gasoline tax, or I think it's 95 cents, and taxes and fees and other things. I mean, it's totally self-imposed. So Dan Yergin's probably right that it has certainly hurt California. I'm questioning another thing, though, not only gasoline prices, but have you heard from or gotten support from any of the Hollywood elites who are appalled by the idea of a California billionaire tax, or is that something that's really not at play in your race?
Spencer.
I'm not going to name names, but some of the most powerful people in Hollywood have reached out in support of my campaign, but they fear what really the consequences if it looks like they're supporting me and not Karen Bass. So thankfully, Hollywood wants me to come in, clean the streets, bring Hollywood back to what it should be in Los Angeles. We're losing so many jobs. When people think about movies not getting made in LA, they're not thinking about the audio teams, the sound, the lighting, the grips, the catering. It's a trickle-down effect of so many families that no longer can live in Los Angeles because this was Hollywood. So thankfully, there's a lot of heavy hitters in Hollywood that are lurking, that want me to win, and I understand the fear that they have to come forward, and that's okay. But back to Newsom and how diabolical his whole setup is. My house burned down because him and his CARB team protect a milk veg plant around our houses. Right next to our houses was a milk veg that they protect and care more about plants over people. And they wouldn't let the fire department clear it with their dozers. And they let our houses burn down because they protect plants over people. So when I'm mayor of Los Angeles, I will have the LAFD cut 300 feet of the 50 years of dead fuel that surrounds communities, that they protect these plants that burn no matter what. All those plants they protected, they're gone.
Well,
So
look, they were
the
protecting
idea
the
that
fish, too.
we care more about plants.
Right? Spencer, they were protecting the fish, too.
There's a lot.
And because she didn't have enough water when the crisis first hit. So we know that. Yeah, final word, Spencer.
No, the water was all Mayor Karen Bass and Janice Quinones at the LADWP. She should have never had the job. Karen Bass gave her double her predecessor, $750,000, and they left 2 reservoirs empty leading into the fire.
There's a reason that you're doing so well and our friend Steve Hilton is doing so well. Common sense. People understand these issues. Spencer, we will see you this weekend on Maria Bartiromo's Wall Street Friday night. I look forward to that as well. Good to see you this morning. Thank you, sir. Spencer Pratt joining us.
Thank you very much.
We'll be right back.